Welcome in. It's time for an Atlanta United 2 season preview on the SDH Network. I'm Jason Longshore. Madison Crews and I had the chance to catch up with lots of folks as we get ready for the Atlanta United 2 season opener tonight. You can listen to it. You can listen to most Atlanta United 2 matches on the SDH Network all season long. We will have the radio calls for you. You can listen on our Mixlr channel. You can also listen by going to soccerdownhere.net and clicking listen at the top of the page. Let's start things off with Madison and head coach Steve Cooke.
Steve, I guess for starters, how has the preseason been for you guys? And, what's the energy heading into Friday?
Well, I think first it's been really enjoyable. The players have really worked hard, bought into what we're trying to achieve. The spirit is good, but at this time of year when nobody's got any points and you've not played any real exciting games, then of course we're all in good spirits, But I think it looks a very together group. It looks a group that can play well together as well. So we have some high hopes, but I'm assuming every single other team in the league has high hopes too.
Yeah. We talked to Cooper, Ryan, and Ronan, earlier. What has it been like adding in some of those new players, a lot of experience, and then also having a lot of those younger players that are still developing but have played with you before, all kind of coming together to form this group?
It's been incredible because I think the players that have been introduced to the group this year have really come in, shown so much leadership and real good quality as well. And I think because of that, the young players have had people to look up to, which they haven't always had in the past. And I think not only are they looking up to them, but they're also looking at them and going, these guys are good players, and therefore we need to step up in our game. So I think it's good from not only helping them learn how to be professional players, but also helping them improve as players, and also giving them a serious competition, because obviously it's going to be performance based, and whether you're 23 or 13, whoever plays well gets the spot. So it's really creating that incredibly good dynamic of togetherness, but it's also creating a dynamic of competition, which is exactly what we need.
Have you seen it? Has it kind of come together really quickly for you? Have you really seen everyone click immediately, or has it been a little bit of a slow building, but you're getting to a point where you're seeing everything come together?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think in the early stages, maybe after a week or two, we said, "Woof, we've got some good guys here. We've got some really highly intelligent people, some really highly motivated people, and we've got some people who care about each other and care about the profession and the role that we all have." And I think because of that, it's just gradually improved, and the players have really taken it on board, and it's the players' team. They're leading the charge, and we've got some really great people who show real signs of good leadership, and they're really taking it on board. And I think we've got a nice blend. And again, it's going to be a performance base. So whoever plays well plays, and it won't just be about giving young kids a go, and it won't just be about playing people to win the games. It's going to be a really good blend of competitive people, good people who care about the team and care about winning, and then hopefully that'll take us a long way this year.
I want to ask about Javier Armas, obviously returning from last season. How have you seen his game improve in the preseason from last year, and also to just being that leader? As we know that we've seen him last season be that captain, how has he really embraced it and taken on to it this season?
Well, Javi's come back in as the captain, as the leader, but it's easier to lead other leaders who want to come with you than it is to just drag along a bunch of people who don't want to do that. He's setting high standards, we're all setting high standards, and people are either maintaining those standards, improving those standards, or they're getting left behind. So I think Javi's showing that, but more importantly, as a player, I think he's come back in great shape, in great form, and I think he's going to not only be a good leader for our team, but I think he's going to be somebody who, whether it's this club or somewhere else, is really going to kick on, because I think his performance last Saturday, for example, against the USL Championship team was absolutely outstanding. So I think he's got a very, very bright future in the game. He's playing at a level that I've not seen a twos player play in the past, and long may that continue, and hopefully that now means other players also keep up with him and even surpass him as well, because that's the nature of what we're doing. You know, we want to create healthy competition, we want to create a positive tension in the group where it's about intensity and competition, but it's also about bringing each other together and bringing each other along, and Javi is the embodiment of that in our group.
I want to ask about a player that we talked a lot about last season as well, but Dominic Chankwi. Seeing his development, seeing him get that time with the first team in the preseason, also getting his first MLS debut with the team against Charlotte. What does it mean to you to see him flourish under you with the twos, and now see him really step up more into this professional realm?
Well, first, I'm delighted for Dominic. You know, he's a really good person. He's a very hard-working young man. He's earned it every step of the way. He wasn't given anything. He wasn't given a contract before he'd played well for the twos. He was always in a situation where he was chasing and chasing. He's been a little fortunate with probably, or we're unfortunate with a few injuries in early pre-season with the first team, so then he's ready to step in. But as I say all the time, it's only an opportunity if you're ready for the opportunity. Otherwise, it's not an opportunity at all. You're just going to go along for the ride. And I think he's shown the first team staff, all who didn't know him before, apart from one, that he not only can be a good person for training and has the right mentality and has the right physical makeup to play the game, but he's also got some qualities that can really help the first team. I'm so pleased he got on the field, because I think once you've got that first 10 or 15 minutes behind you, life becomes a little bit more easy, and you feel like you're in the group. But he has a long way to go. He's 17 just, and he's got to get some real serious minutes this year with us. And frankly, he's got to play well for the twos as well when he plays this year. He's already had his 2 call-ups, and maybe there's going to be more in the near future. But I think wherever he plays, whenever he plays, he has to be a player who everybody notices, not only has been a young player with potential, but a high-performing player with a great deal more to give in the future. I think that is really what he's got to knuckle down on, and I think he can. Sometimes in football you never know, right? And you know, you need a little bit of good fortune and luck along the way. And I'm hoping he gets that, because he's a terrific young man with hopefully a really high level and very bright future ahead of him.
Last couple ones. Looking back at last season and then going into this one, what were some of the things that you wanted to see change and really, really improve as you guys head into this new season?
I think as we end the season, you know, you're always looking forward and saying, well, how can we improve the group? And one of the key things for me was having better leaders throughout the group, better character and attitude and training habits throughout the group, but also a player in every position who we can rely on, a signed twos player in every position that we can rely on to be there every day, working hard every day, being a good player every day in training, so that we can then improve the environment for everybody, and especially the young ones. And then from there, I think then it's just looking at more of instead of just signing good players, can we sign good players who can blend together? So these were 2 key pieces for me. Blend together as players, have the right playing qualities that match together, but then I think again, that blend of characters, that blend of people that trust each other and work hard for each other, and no matter what are going to be giving their all, especially on bad days. You know, it's always easy when you're doing well on the field and you know you're winning 3-0 to give everything, but what about the days when we're not doing so well or we're struggling as a group? And I think we have a group of guys who are going to really do that this year, and can win games in different ways as well. Yes, when we're playing really well, but also when we need to do a little bit of dirty work. I think we've got some guys who can do that as well. So we're excited, and we're very optimistic, and we're very positive about what we've seen and what hopefully will come. But again, feet on the ground, we have no points. Fortunately, nobody else has any points either.
How do you want the team to play this year? Like the style of play that you guys want to see on the field?
You know, this question is an interesting question, because every coach gets asked this, and I don't want to be the cliched, you know, we want to have the ball and then we want to go win it back and that stuff. I think we need to have a team that regardless of the situation of the game, regardless of our opponents, we can impose ourselves on the game. We can be ourselves, whether it be a build-out game or whether it be something that's high pressing or something even when we don't have the ball. Do we have a team that can perform really well and be in control of the game with and without the ball? And that means sometimes we're going to be up against it. Sometimes we're not going to play well, but we can still control the game and get a result. And a team that can win games in a couple of different ways. Because make no mistake, in American soccer and especially in Major League Soccer, winning away from home is hard. But you can do it, and it just means you might have to play a slightly different way for periods in a game or even the whole game. But I think we have a group of people who are invested in that part of it this year and are truly on board with trying to not only play well and play a nice, attractive brand, but are also very invested in winning games and being not only competitive, but going past that and actually being one of the best teams in the league. And you know, it's a long way to go. There's, I think, 28 league games, so we have to show that from the beginning, but then it's about consistency, and we have to keep that consistency. We've had a great pre-season. It is only pre-season, but the consistency of attitude and work has been there, and hopefully we can see that not only on Friday, but we can see that for the 27 games after that.
Speaking of Friday, a good challenge for you guys going up against New York Red Bulls too. You know how they're going to play. You know, what are some of the things that you guys are going to try to do to minimize what they do on the field?
Yeah, I mean, when you see a Red Bull team, whether it's in Leipzig or Salzburg or New York, you're going to get what you see. And like we've seen for years and years, a very energetic, very brave, high-pressing team who maybe go man-to-man at times and risk it a little bit at the back. Outstanding in the counter-press, very solid in terms of their attitude to wanting to win the game and do some of the dirty work that doesn't get noticed all the time. And they've got good players who can play now, and I think there's been a shift in the Red Bull a little bit the last few years. I have so much admiration for that sporting group in general, because I think they're always adapting, they're always innovating, and they really are an exciting team to watch. I think all of the games that Red Bull are in, you would say are exciting. Right. Our job is to make sure we're so good with the ball that we can eliminate that press. And then when we do make mistakes and we do give the ball away, we have to physically match their output as well. And if not match it, we have to go beyond it. And I think they're always exciting games. Usually we have games that are full of goals with them. Hopefully they're only going in our direction and not in the other way. And I think, look, it's a home opener and it's a first game of the season, so none of us know what we're really going to get. You know, nobody's really got too much video on each other. But I do think that our boys are prepared, and I think we understand what Red Bull are going to bring to us. But they might have a few worries of their own against us. You know, I think our challenge is to be ourselves, dominate and impose our will on them, and also kill the will of them and the spirit of them, because we know that if we don't do that, then Red Bull can get on top of you pretty quick. So again, it's exciting, feet on the ground, but we're very positive and very hopeful that we can have a good start to the season on Friday.
Next up on our Atlanta United 2 2025 season preview, let's hear from future homegrown midfielder currently with Atlanta United 2, Cooper Sanchez, as we catch up with him about his off-season and expectations for 2025.
Perfect. I mean, I guess I'll start off, you know, how excited are you for the first game of the season on Friday?
Yeah, I think we've been building all preseason. I think we have a really strong team this year to do something special, and I think we're just ready to go. You know, we've done well in preseason, so just ready to go.
You've also had an exciting off-season as well, going with the U17s for the U.S. men's national team. You know, we're with them when they qualified for the World Cup. What was that experience like for you? Yeah,
I mean, my call-up was, you know, I feel myself, I deserved it. I've been, you know, working hard, doing well obviously here in my environment. So, but to get together with, you know, the best players in my age group to represent our country to qualify for a World Cup was, I mean, huge. Every game was, you know, like a World Cup final, to be honest, because all you needed to do was top your group, and we did that, won all 3 games, and yeah, now the job is World Cup, so focusing on that now. So.
Yeah, 22 goals. That was very, very nice in one game. Look, you guys go.
Yeah, fortunately didn't get one, but yeah, wasn't my role, but yeah.
But going into this season, looking back at last year, what kind of sets it apart in your mind from just what's happening on the field, off the field? Like, what are you seeing, and how excited is the team getting ready for this new season?
Yeah, I would say it's a completely different team from last year. A lot of new faces, and I think the biggest difference is the training environment. I think the intensity this year is something different, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
How has it been getting to know these new players and kind of forming that chemistry?
Yeah, obviously most of them we played against last year, on other teams, and they're obviously doing well, like Ryan and Nick and Moyes, and so getting them, in our team now, and just building chemistry with them. They're all good people, so it was pretty easy. But yeah, we're just looking forward to the season.
What are some aspects of your game have you seen the most improvement from last year to then going into this season?
I would say myself was a big thing was like 1v1 defensively, duels, everything. I think that's improved. I'm getting bigger and stronger as time goes on. That happens, but I think I'm putting more care, obviously, into my duels and trying to win every duel that I can. And yeah, that's something that would be different this season for me.
How has the style of play evolved a little bit this year in preseason?
Yeah, I think last year we had a lot of technical players, that always wanted the ball to feet, and including myself, that's the type of player I am. But I think this year we have a good mixture of, dynamic runs in behind, all of that. So it's a good combination, and yeah.
How much has it helped you to have a guy like Will Riley around, who has been here before, now comes back after his time at college, and has a ton of experience?
Yeah, obviously, it's just learning everything. Even Will, Javi still.
Yeah.
All the guys at the first team, it's a big help, just learning little details. And Will was obviously experienced in USL before he left for college, so just asking him, little things. It's he's been helpful.
When you have a group like that you feel comfortable, like in your role, asking, whether it's veterans, whether it's guys who are just a little bit older than you,
yeah.
how helpful is it to have those guys that you can bounce off of and learn from?
I think that's one of the biggest parts of our development as young professionals coming into the team, is having guys that are gonna help us, because we're gonna make mistakes. That's gonna happen. We're all gonna make mistakes, but having guys that won't treat you like you're young. If you're good enough, you're old enough. So, yeah.
You look ahead to Friday. It's the Red Bulls. You know exactly how they're going to play. You know what to expect. What are the important things in getting a result?
I think just matching their intensity. They're going to come pressing first 15, 20 minutes. So, just kind of trying to break them down, tire them out, and score goals.
Next up, Atlanta United 2 newcomer Ryan Carmichael, a player who has a lot of success in MLS Next Pro and hoping to bring that to Atlanta. Here's our conversation with Ryan. Let's start with, what came into the decision to come to Atlanta this season?
I think I was here a couple of years ago at the Combine, and I liked the setup. And then obviously I saw what they're trying to do. Obviously, with the first team and the second team, we got in a load of older players. So I feel we're going to have a really strong squad, and I wanted to be a part of it this year.
How has the group come together in preseason?
Better than you'd probably think. I think from the first game, everybody just seemed to click, and since we've had a couple of great results over pre-season, and everybody's got their fitness in, so we're all excited for Friday.
For people who are getting to know you and getting to know your style of play, how would you describe your game?
Fast and direct, mainly. I like to get in behind the back line and score goals off one or two touch. So if I had to compare someone, it'd probably be Jamie Vardy, based on my stature as well.
Okay. I like it. Okay.
What has it been like forming those new relationships and connections during the off-season for you guys?
It's the same everywhere. The first couple of weeks is hard, like you're getting to know people, you're kind of feeling it out, but once you get playing and stuff, like it's basically like another family, so you get used to everybody pretty quickly, like you see them every day, so it's not too hard once you get used to everybody. Like, but that first week or two, you're a bit, especially in your younger years. Like, but no, it's been easy enough settling in here. Yeah, especially that a lot of other guys are new as well, so everybody's feeling each other out a bit. But yeah, it's been easy enough.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience as well coming into this team now. How are you going to bring that experience to help some of these younger guys develop a bit more, but then also bring in that leadership quality on the field?
Yeah, I've a bit more experience than obviously the younger guys, and I think it just helped them movements and different things you learn as you play more, like movements off the ball, things to just clean up your touch and stuff like that. And if they're willing to listen, then it's going to be easy enough, and they seem to be. So, yeah.
From talking to Steve and Jose and the coaching staff heading into Friday, what are they wanting to see you guys do on the field this season for Atlanta United 2?
Win first and foremost, but basically put what we do out there into practice in the game, and yeah, I'm sure it'll help us a long way to that win. Like, but he wants us to express ourselves and play our own football at the same time, because he knows once you get out there, it's everything kind of can sometimes go to the dog. So yeah.
What are some of the challenges that New York Red Bulls bring for you guys, and how are you guys going to try to minimize them on Friday in the first game?
Well, they're high pressing and big, strong, fast. So I think if we can get out of that first initial press and beat that, then we'll have a lot of joy in behind, because we're also pretty fast and physical up top. So if we can beat their first press, then it turns into our game, going attacking them. So yeah, I think that's the main thing we've got to look out for. Like.
Last interview on the 2025 Atlanta United 2 season preview. We caught up with Ronan Wynne. You've seen him with the first team in preseason. He signed a second team contract, and hopefully will have his visa in time to take part in tonight's match. Don't forget, you can listen to Atlanta United 2 Soccer all season long on the SDH Network. Click listen on soccerdownhere.net, or if you have the Mixlr app, you can listen on the Soccer Down Here channel there. Make sure you're following us at Soccer Down Here on all your social media platforms, and enjoy our conversation with Ronan Wynne. And we'll be talking to you tonight as Atlanta United 2 hosts the New York Red Bulls 2.
Let's start with just your journey to Atlanta out of the draft. A lot of time with the first team in preseason. How are you feeling going into the season starting on Friday?
Yeah, really good. It's been a great experience so far, being between both teams. Playing with players that I've never played with before, and players that have been in the professional ranks for a while. Really looking forward to it, and I can't wait for what's to come.
What's been the toughest thing adjusting to the level at the professional game?
Speed of play.
Yeah.
Easily. I've never played, especially with the first team, it's crazy how quick the decisions are made. So that's definitely been, playing-wise, the biggest adjustment.
Does it help you almost to start there in preseason and then come to the MLS Next Pro side and settle in?
100%. I was saying to Matt, one of the assistant coaches, training with them for 6 weeks now, and then coming down, playing in the second team games, I feel like it's prepared me so well, and I feel like I'm already, into the game, and I feel like I can play at that speed just because those guys playing in MLS are different level.
Yeah. So you've been through the journey of being like the young guy in the college team, and then becoming the older player and becoming the veteran and the wiser player. You're kind of in a reverse situation now as a rookie pro, but older than some of your teammates. Yeah. How have you kind of settled into that?
I think you just got to play a role. When you're with the first team, work hard, you got to run hard. Obviously do that with the second team, but here I can be more vocal. I can lead by example more. On the other side, I'm learning more, so just being around them. So adjusting between the two is good, but I guess I'm allowed to take a leadership role on one end, and then on the other end, I'm just learning. I'm the student, whereas on this side I can be the teacher sometimes.
Yeah. Well, during preseason, being with the first team, what was one of the biggest things that you learned from Ronnie Dyla and you're going to take with you as you go into the MLS Next Pro season?
I think kind of the seriousness of every single play on the field. There's no letting up at any point. You know, if it's a set piece, if it's a throw in, if they have a goal kick, you know, facing the ball. There's a lot of things that he talked to me about and he asked me questions about, and you know, you got to look at yourself after playing games, after training, and he's kind of challenged me. So I think just not taking any plays off and staying focused the whole time.
For a lot of Atlanta fans who maybe didn't see you in preseason with the first team, how would you describe how you play?
I feel like I can be a difference maker. Defensively, I think I can win my 1v1 battles, and then also try and create challenges like fullbacks do. But I'm always going to work hard. I'm always going to get into challenges. I'm going to shout when I make a block. I'm going to uplift the team, and I'm going to do anything to win the game.
Yeah. Coming from the college space and then coming into pro, how important was your college experience for you to be able to be so successful and getting the chance to then jump to the pro level?
Yeah, I think a big thing that maybe people that don't go to college don't get is everything off the field, kind of the lifestyle that you build. So there's a lot of, let's say, school, for example. A lot of people don't have that, and I've got to be focusing on school, focusing on the field, on diet. There's so many more things that go into being a professional, and I think that's what college kind of set me up to be successful when I, you know, come into this environment.
Last one for me, how excited are you for Friday to get to go to fifth, third, and play with the team?
Yeah, really excited. I've been looking forward to it for a while now. I'm still actually trying to get my visa, so I'm hoping that gets done by Friday. But whenever I play, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've played a real competitive game. So.
Excellent, awesome, perfect.
Cool.